Like in the world. I don't think there's any question about that. First of all, when you speak about Luis Suarez, you have to speak about the man. Luis Suarez is one of the most beautiful men you can come across. Very humble guy who works tirelessly at his profession. We respect that this is arguably the best team in the world, with probably a front three that may be one of the best of all time. I know working with Louis that Louis on his own used to occupy a back four defence on his own. So if you put Neymar and Messi into that, then of course it's a very, very difficult task.
Welcome back. Brendan Rodgers spent a lot of time talking about his opponent, Luis Suarez, and we're wondering why I wasn't talking about his own players. Someone has joined us now, and let me quickly introduce to you Toby Emmanuel, assistant sports editor of the New Telegraph. He joins us now, and it's fitting that we're talking about the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal also involved. But you listen to Brendan. Let me allow you to comment. I mean, you're facing a team like Barcelona. You should be talking about how you're going to try to win the game, not eulogizing one of their players.
You can understand where Rodgers is coming from. He played a very significant role in bringing Luis Suarez to Liverpool, and he knows what he can do with the ball. Now that Messi might be doubtful, like the coach said, he's going to see how he's going to rest Messi. But Barcelona is a big team with big players, so he's just trying to help himself to ease away the stress.
And
ease away the stress by focusing on just Suarez.
And Toby, to be fair to Brendan Rodgers and the journalists, probably asked him.
They put him on the spot.
Exactly. What is this supposed to do?
They push the game aside and start asking questions.
They
like
actually
that.
want to see what's your talk, what's your feeling, what's your perception about a player who once played for Liverpool and you're playing against him.
Exactly.
Don't you see him as a threat? And the young man, normally a coach will always talk about his play. But if it's Mourinho will say he's just a player.
No, but Toby, let's go to the game itself now.
Yes.
I mean, Barcelona playing at home at the Camp Nou against Celtic. I mean, the Celtic have a chance, to win this particular one. Remember Barcelona actually lost at home, against Alaves in the Spanish La Liga over the weekend.
It's a good one for Barca. They need to respond and quickly bounce back against the Celtic team, even though it was one of those matches that happens in the league, early in the league, when new teams coming from the Segunda coming to create an upset. For Barcelona, it's an opportunity for them to look at what they have, where they went wrong, and try to see what they can do in putting the right players together, changing their mentality, and also getting the desired result. Because the group stage, this is the first match of the group stages, and it depends on how you start. That will determine how long you go. But Barcelona are still favourite in Camp Nou.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's talk about other teams so that so that you forgive us instead of that's it.
Yeah.
Just pick it one by one. We're done with Barcelona, Celtic. We know you're an Arsenal fan. Don't talk about PSG, Arsenal anymore. We've heard a lot, but talk about the other ones.
Okay, Barcelona, great switch team. They've been there. They have the pedigree of playing in Europe, and they're playing at home in Switzerland against a very not too short team in Ludogorets.
Okay.
Anything can happen if you underrate them. Then those are the teams you just look at their name, where are they coming from, and you'll be surprised they just put one of those surprises. PSG Arsenal, it's going to be a tough match for Wenger. We saw what they did against Southampton. They struggled against Southampton. A tough game.
Got lucky in that one.
Yeah, and let's see what they are able to bring about. PSG also not too strong this with the exit of Zlatan and some few players, but it's going to be an interesting match. Benfica, Besiktas, two great teams. Benfica, they've been consistent in Europe. They have what it takes to play in the Champions League, and they produce good players. They are a selling club like Porto, and they are always bringing players.
If you're not in the top four, you're a selling club.
Yeah.
If you're not in Spain, Germany, and England.
For Besiktas, Turkey has come of age, and
Yeah.
they've played very well in the Champions League. The match for me to watch out is Dynamo Kiev and Napoli.
Yeah,
Napoli
Napoli.
coming from Italy, and we saw what they did last season. And also, it's also a good one, even though they lost some of their best players. They lost the great Uruguayan to Juventus, and now let's see what they're able to get from that point. Man City, Keleti Iheanacho, we saw what he did at the weekend. But for Borussia Mönchengladbach, is another team who has the bed. You know, they've been there in the past, but they are back now, trying to put their hearts together and see what. But Aguero is coming back.
Yeah,
So,
so-
but the good thing about Man City,
Should he
they
go
have a
straight-
coach who understands how to win. Like he said in the pre-match yesterday, he said he wants winning mentality. He's not convinced yet that this team can win titles, but they need to score goals. They need to possess just the way they did against Man U, and they need to show that they are real champions. So it's going to be a great match. If they underrate the Germans, they're on their own. Bayern
Munich versus Rostov.
Bayern of the same Bayern
Yes.
is expected. Rostov came through the ranks. They've been developing. One of our former players used to play there. The ageless, what's his name now? He was in Nigeria Ghana 2000. Forgot his name when I get his name.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, Bayern. The Russian team is a small team who have built. They build themselves into a brand. Gradually playing the Europa Cup. Now they are coming to the Champions League. They got qualification to get to this league. So if they underrate them, they under. PSV Atletico have just found their reading. They just found their reading because their first two matches in the La Liga they were struggling. It convinced, not too convincing, but this they came out and who's best to just do it? Like the man were touted to overcome Ronaldo at the Euro final, but
Yes.
but Portugal did it.
Antoine
So
Griezmann.
Griezmann.
Okay.
Let's see what he's going to do.
So that one, you're still sitting on the fence.
It's an
PSV,
open
Atletico
game.
Madrid.
It's an open game. Atletico can just spring. Let's just see that what they did at the weekend was not just a fluke. They won massive away game,
Yes.
and they could build on that strength and get the results.
Okay.
But PSV, they've been there. They've been there, Dutch champion for several years. No, there it's just between them and Ajax, and maybe one or few other clubs just
And maybe
coming.
Feyenoord.
Feyenoord
Feyenoord
coming
doing
in,
well this season?
So
Okay.
so they too are a good club in the past. They've been producing players, but not.
It just buttresses what you've said. If you're not in Spain, England, and maybe Italy, you're a selling club. At the point Van Basten said, look, let's join the league in Belgium and Holland. That is the only way you can compete with the guys in England because they'll buy your first team.